I see Natalie Eva Marie.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
Natalie Eva Marie Coyle. Oh, I don't know why it said that.
Matt, how you doing, brother?
I see Joelle. What's up, Joelle?
Carissa. Hi, Carissa.
I see Hannah
Damon.
Hallelujah.
Damon.
Praise
how you
the
doing?
Lord. Back again for
Yep.
some
There's
some
Julian.
more recovery.
Same old position, Julian.
What?
Love it.
How come? How do I get one of those dolls behind? What is that thing behind you? Is that a wall stick? Like a. What were those things that you used to get in the sports? Everybody look at Natalie Eva
Oh my gosh,
Marie.
I don't know how I missed everything you just said. I just heard doll, but I figured because I'm in my this is my old room, but my parents made it a shrine, so I apologize. It looks insane.
Oh,
Do you guys remember like this? You could get like a pro football player stuck on your wall. I think that's what that is behind
big
Natalie.
heads.
What were they
Big
called?
big
Fat heads?
Fat heads.
Fat heads
Yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah, you get like whole sports figures.
Yeah.
in all kinds of weird positions. Yeah.
Yep. All right, we got the crew in the house.
Yes. Did you guys miss me today?
no.
CSC programs in the house. What's
Not at
up,
all.
guys?
Thanks, Shane.
Emily says hi.
Yeah.
Hi, young Emily.
She said she didn't text you back.
That's odd. I didn't even get a text.
Apparently.
That's why I don't miss her. I don't get a text. Why would I miss her?
Yep. Fat heads. Somebody put in the comments.
Luke
they were called
Daniels.
fat heads.
How you doing,
Yeah,
Luke?
fat head. There you go.
Who else is here?
I see
Jennifer's
Matt.
iPhone, Tara Grant,
Shane.
Oh yeah, I could be on the chat.
Mantis, Cam, Motorola.
Chuck Zamzow.
Yeah. We got the timekeeper right there.
Is that like me in there, or like? Am I looking in see the guy with the tank top on
jail?
and the bald head? Yeah. What's his name? Ethan. What's going on,
Hey,
Ethan?
Yeah, I like Ethan.
That's like how I dress outside of
Who's on the second page?
the office.
Motorola, Moto Gang, 5C, Patricia.
Joe Pip,
Yeah.
iPhone user.
Millie.
I see
Tara,
Kendra,
Chris Howell, Grant,
Christina, Zoom user,
Sprenza.
Zoom user 2, G.
This is very nice.
Nice.
Wow.
We got
Well,
40.
yeah,
Let's get
welcome,
this
everybody.
let's get this
Let's
party started,
going.
man.
Yeah,
we got a guy in here that
What's his
says
name
he's
again?
long-winded. Actually don't know.
Corey. That's right,
Corey.
Corey.
That's me.
Yeah.
Corey.
Really bad at that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Corey.
That's all right.
It's all right. To be honest, I haven't remembered any of your guys.
I'm Shane.
I'm
There's
Dave.
Chad. That's
Dave
Emily.
Elliott, 2 L's, 2
Two L's.
T's.
Yeah, baby. I'm Elliot Dave. Yeah. Let's go.
All right.
All right. We got to get going.
We're going to get going.
6:05.
Right.
6:00. Not that I'm in a
Do
rush.
the intro, bro. I'm not
Okay.
introing him. Just tell why the Hopeaholics exist. I'm tired of hearing
So
myself.
here's the thing: the Hopeaholics exist because of tragedy, and that's how most great things start. We're forced into a position, and it's like that with a lot of stuff, and we're trying to change that because we should be doing stuff on God's in different terms. But in this particular situation, Chad lost his son-in-law, 9/11 of 22, to a tragic fentanyl poisoning. He went out expecting, let's call it a pill, whatever, a harmless little pill. And this is not the only story. It's 300 times a bloody day this shit is happening, man. And we've decided to put up a fight because we've had enough. And we need to bring this to middle America because it's killing people everywhere. That's why we're here, bro. That's why we're here.
I love that.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you like that, Nat? She gave a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And because of this tragedy, we started the Hopeaholics podcast.
Yeah, we did.
And we all decided that we were going to start recovering out loud, man, and
Yeah.
showing people that there is a different way to live.
Yeah.
In this day and age, man, we can no longer be anonymous.
No.
You know, recovery is real. Recovery is the shit, to be honest
I'll
with
tell
you.
something, we can't rely on the drugs anymore, bro. You can't. I mean, those days are over. You
Yeah.
cannot rely on the drug anymore. The drug is over. There's fentanyl in everything.
Yep.
So if you think you're going out there, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of coke, I don't think so. Anyone I talk to on the phone says, yeah, I did a little bit of coke. I'm like, no, bro, you didn't. You're doing fentanyl. That's just the bottom line.
All right, guys, we're going to get the
Yeah,
party
we're gonna
started.
get
Just a
going.
quick reminder. couple of things. I need to warn everybody that Shane is from Canada, so he says inappropriate things often, daily.
Daily.
He offends people, but he doesn't mean to.
No, I
He
don't
just
know any better.
doesn't know any better.
I don't.
So there's that warning. And warning number 2 is this is live streamed on YouTube. So whatever you say on here will forever be on the Hopeaholics YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's pretty
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We got
Corey.
our good friend Corey
Corey.
that we just met just a
Yep.
few minutes ago. He's coming up on 2 years clean and
Yeah, he is.
serene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is.
It's yours.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Corey, and I'm an alcoholic. I have a sobriety date of March 16th, 2023. And that is my first sobriety date. And, after seeing the blessings and gifts of sobriety, I plan on making that my last. I love what you guys do here. It's truly like just a loving environment. I appreciate you guys having me here tonight. So just a little bit about my backstory, I started really young, alcohol and weed. Didn't really like it. It wasn't really my thing, but what I did like is that it made me comfortable in my own skin, but it just wasn't enough. I knew right at a young age that I wanted more. And so I started with heroin at about 13 years old. And from the moment, the first time I ever did heroin, I absolutely fell in love. I had that sense of calm and ease and peace. I was absolutely 100% comfortable with myself and in my own skin. And I felt like I could do anything. Anything I say was just the funniest thing in the world. Everybody loved me. And if they didn't, that was their problem, not mine. And, so I lived this way for a very, very long time. I didn't really start suffering consequences right away from my drug use until about 15, almost 16 years old. I went to juvenile hall for the first time. And when I was there, I built up a lot of resentment and anger while I was in jail. I told a bunch of lies to my family that, this is going to be the last time. I'm never going to get high again. I want to change my life. I want to go back to school. And I had all these like goals and aspirations and like big dreams that I wanted to do. And when I got out, that anger and resentment that I had immediately went right back to what I knew how to do. And it just became this like revolving door, this repeat cycle over and over. So I spent the majority of my teens and adult life in and out of custody. Unfortunately, I've been booked into Orange County Jail, I think 42 times. I think that was the last count was like 42 times. I got like 3 or 4, my 3 CDC prison numbers. And over the last 21 years from my early teens to almost how old I am now, I spent 17 of the last 21 years in custody.
Wow.
So, do the math on that. It's not very much time to actually live on the streets, to ever get any life skills or be able to have any healthy relationships.
Right.
And I love what you guys said in the beginning, that through tragedy stems all beautiful things, right? The reason why you guys do this is because of a tragedy, right? And that's kind of what happened with me. This last time I was in prison, I got this devastating phone call. So I had a child pass away.
Oh shit.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, it's just not how things are supposed to go, right? And I had to really look at myself and really ask myself, would it have been different if I was out there, right? Would we have lost this life if I was out there, if I was a present father? And the fact is, if I'm going to be honest with myself, if I was out there, things probably would have been different. And so I have to own part of that, and I was sitting in my cell and I'm wondering, am I going to live in this, pity party and like, woe is me, like, feeling for the rest of my life? And am I going to end up either dying out there or doing life in prison? Those were like my 2 options. And so this last time I had an opportunity to go to a rehab, and I've never been offered a program before. I've never wanted to get sober. I always thought it seemed kind of lame. And so when they offered me this program, I had a bunch of ulterior motives why I wanted to do it. My teeth were all messed up. I was like missing one of my front teeth. I looked like a guy from Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? With the missing front tooth.
Yeah.
Right? It was Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
Lloyd,
Right? That was
great
me.
movie, though.
Right? It was an excellent movie.
great
But the thing different was I not nearly as funny as he was. Right?
Oh,
So
shit.
it might have worked if I was as funny as he was, but I wasn't. So I'm missing a bunch of teeth. I probably weighed like 165 pounds soaking wet. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm getting up there in age. I was almost 35 at the time. And, I was like, I'll go to rehab. I heard, you go to rehab and they'll help me get my teeth fixed and, I'll get some weight and, maybe get a few things. I had a bunch of ulterior motives why I wanted to go rehab, and none of it was like to obtain permanent sobriety, right? Like I had a whole bunch of reservations, but I was going to try it. And, I definitely wasn't going to do it to the best of my ability. I was going to lie and manipulate, because those are like some of my huge character defects that I found after working the 12 steps. I found that lying and manipulation and playing the victim are like, a huge part of who I was as a person. So, I go into this rehab in Fullerton called Daylight Again. It's associated with Woodglen, which is a pretty well-known program out in Fullerton in Orange County. And a super awesome program, a lot of recovery there, really great people. It's a men's program, which I really wasn't too happy about either when I found out. It's like, I want to go to a co-ed program, right? Because it's like, I'm not going there to get sober. But so I ended up going to this place, and, when I was there, it was weird. The first day I got there, when you're so bottled up, right, and you spend the majority of your life in custody, right, you put on this like facade, like you're a tough guy. Yeah. And that was always been my thing. It's like my defense mechanism, right? Like, I put on this like, mentality, like, or this like facade that I'm like a badass, I'm a gangster, right? And it's like, it was all fake, but it was just something I portrayed myself to be for so long. So when I got there, I raw exposed nerves, everything was just made me super sensitive. And the first night I'm in group there, who ends up being my sponsor, so I 100% believe that God places people in your life at the right time. It's just whether you're willing or not, or like willing enough to be able to accept that, right, and be able to really see it for what it is. So that night, the first night I was there, my sponsor came in, and he's all tatted up. You guys had him on the show. We talked about this earlier, Ricky. And, he came in, and he's all like, looks like a tough guy. I'm like, all right, yeah, this is like my type of people. And so he asked me, he's all, hey, Corey, so what brought you here? And, I couldn't even talk. Like, it just just broke, right? I couldn't even talk about the passing of my daughter, right? I was just like this emotional, like raw, like baby, right? And I just was like crying, and I was just like trying to like just speak, right? And I just couldn't. I was like choking on the words. He's all, dude, just relax, bro. He's all, we'll talk after group's over, right? And I just remember being so like embarrassed, right? And I felt so ashamed of like all these mistakes and all these, just how I've lived my life for so long. And for me, I feel like that was like a pivotal moment in my life. Like this guy that looked like a tough guy that was like somebody like I could relate to was sitting there and just like letting me cry on his shoulder, right? And it was like it was a very, very weird feeling for me, since I kept those types of emotions and feelings like bottled up for so long. And so he tells me, he's, well, look, man, he's all, well, like, what are you trying to do while you're here, right? I was like, I don't know. I'm like trying to graduate the program because I don't want to go back to prison. I'm going to go back to prison if I don't complete the program. And so I'm okay. So he's all, look, dude, he's all, if you want me to sponsor, I will. And we're going to work the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and we're going to try to put your hand in God's hand. I was like, whoa. Like, no, I just told you I'm just trying to complete the program. Like, I don't know about this God thing. It's definitely like something I'm not cool with, right? I'm like, I'll do your 12 steps, but I'm going to do it without God. If I'm going to stay sober, I'm going to do it on my own, right? I'm a man. I got willpower. I'm going to be able to say no. If I really want to stay sober, I'm just going to say no. And, it's how delusional my thinking was when I was there. And so he goes, all right, yeah, man, I'm not asking you to believe in God right now. He's all, I'm not asking you to do any of that, right? I'm just asking you to just admit to me whether or not, can you tell me that you just aren't going to say that there is no God, right? I'm like, well, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't think I know everything, right? I think I know a lot, but I don't think I know everything. I'm not going to tell you that there absolutely is no God. He's all right, then I could work with that. So, he starts, while I'm there, he starts coming to visit me, and we start working these steps. And, I'm not like really believing that any of this stuff is really hallmarky to me. I didn't think the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous could do anything for a guy like me. But, I told him I would try. And, it's just funny how these things work. The program that I went to, the genuine love and concern that everybody has for the welfare of another human being while you're there is just something I never experienced before. It was truly something, I just can't even really like put it in words, just how much it meant to me that these people would just show up. Cause I'm the type of guy that spent my entire life in prison. Like, I pick up the collect phone call, right, to make a phone, and they give us free phone calls in Orange County Jail. You get like 2 5-minute free phone calls a week. And, I don't got anybody to use them on. I would give them to my cellie or give them to somebody that actually had somebody to use them on. I didn't have anybody to call, right? And if I did, it was just, some, bullshit phone call for a couple of minutes. But, like, I had nobody out there that, like, wanted to answer my phone calls that really cared, right? Yeah. I had burnt so many bridges, so having these people show this, like, genuine love and concern for me, it was just something that, it was like a pivotal moment in my life where that love, like the altruistic movement of Alcoholics Anonymous and recovery in general, just not just Alcoholics Anonymous, right? It's recovery in general, like what you guys do here, just what recovery is based off of, like each one teach one. Everybody's just there not to kick somebody while they're down, just to be there to help, right? And it was something I hadn't experienced. So, fast forward a little bit. So I ended up getting kicked out of the rehab because I have an anger problem. Like I said, I like to fancy myself a tough guy back then, right? And so I those resentments that we talk about, I had this resentment against somebody, and it got to the point where I lost my temper. We ended up getting in a fight, and I ended up getting kicked out of rehab. And so this is the first time I've ever been accountable as an adult. I had a 5-year joint suspension over my head when I went to rehab. And so they told me if I don't complete, I'm going back to prison for 5 years, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? I'm going back. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I really fucked up on this one, right? I'm going back, right? And I remember, so my sponsor came to pick me up, and he tells me, he's all, well, what are you going to do, man? I said, well, I got to get into a sober living, and I got to go put myself on calendar. I got to go to court and kind of go see what happens. So, all right, well, I'll help you with that, and so he helps me. Danny, familiar with one of my friends, Danny, he ends up paying for my sober living for me for 2 weeks, puts me in a sober living, and my sponsor is driving me down there. And I remember sitting in his car, and I was driving down Beach Boulevard in Fullerton, and it's bad out there, right? The fentanyl epidemic is huge out there, and you just see people walking down the streets just like zombies, like lifeless souls, right? Just lost. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, that's me right there, right? That's me, 100%. Like, that's where I'm going to end up. It's, for me, jail and prison is a mercy, right? It gives me a roof over my head. It feeds me. It's a mercy for someone like me. I remember thinking to myself, I'm just a couple hits away from ending up like that or dead. And I remember just thinking to myself, man, I don't ever want to go back there, right? So God had already started doing things for me, which I could never do for myself, right? I've never been able to stay sober, right? No matter how much I promised my family, or no matter how many responsibilities I had as a father or a son or a grandson or anything, right? None of that stuff ever kept me sober, right? And, so we were driving down the street, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I'm just one hit away from being out there. And so when he drops me off at the sober living, it's probably like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and he tells me, he goes, all right, Corey, well, if you're here in the morning when I pick you up to go to there's a morning meditation we go do, right? He's all, if you're here in the morning when I pick you up, you might have a chance, you might have a chance to stay sober. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like so offended by that, right? I was like, what the fuck you mean if I'm here in the morning? I have nowhere to go. Like, I'm like, this is it for me, right? I'm like, if I don't stay sober, I'm going to go back to prison. I don't want to go back to prison. I'm fucking done with that. And I remember being so offended that he would question whether or not I was there. And he starts laughing at me. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck's so funny, right? And he's all, bro, you don't see it. I'm like, see what? He's all, dude, God's already working in your life, bro. He's removed that obsession. Every time previously when Corey makes a mistake, you immediately go get loaded. No matter what the consequences are, it's always a thing. It's my go-to, right? I'm getting loaded. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I don't even remember the last time I didn't think about like getting loaded, right? Especially like when times were good, when times were bad. Like, that's all I wanted to do ever. It didn't matter what was going on. No matter what kind of responsibilities or, engagements I had to make, no matter what, right? Like, getting loaded was first priority. And this is a situation, right, where I would always go back to getting loaded. And I remember thinking to myself, I was sitting in my sober living bed. I couldn't sleep all night. I was just tripping. I was like, dude, I can't believe I don't want to get high. I was like excited. I was like, dude, I don't want to get high. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Right. And, I hadn't even honestly started working the steps. And, the only thing I'd seen in recovery was a bunch of cool people that looked like me, that came from the same places I'd done, came from the same places I'd been, done the same things I've done, but had changed their lives. And they had these beautiful lives and family and friends. And I was inspired by that. I was intrigued by that. I was like, man, they know something that I don't, right? And I want to know what it is. And so when he came and picked me up that morning, and I remember thinking to myself, that day right there was probably the most memorable day of my sobriety, right? I remember the first day that obsession had been removed, that I noticed it. And, so I ended up going back to court, and I held myself accountable, right? I show up to this judge, and I tell him what I did. And the judge looks at me, and he's all, man, how did you get yourself on calendar? I said, well, I came the day after I got kicked out of rehab, put myself on calendar. They said the next day that you had available was today. And he's like, well, how'd you get here? I'm like, well, I took the bus. He's like, you took the bus? Where you been staying? I'm like, at a sober living. He's like, well, what have you been doing? I'm like, well, I've been working this little shitty telemarketing job, making minimum wage, And he goes, and you're still sober? I'm like, yeah. he's like looking at me, and mind you, this is a judge that sent me to prison a couple times and giving me countless violations in county. And he's looking at me. He goes, man, he goes, so what do you want to do, man? And I'm like, well, I understand that, I have these consequences hanging over my head. The program said they'll let me come back in 90 days, and I would really love an opportunity to actually go back to that program and complete it. I started it, and I want to finish it, right? I've never started anything in my life and finished it except a prison term, right? And that was kind of non-optional, like I had to finish that. And so he tells me, he goes, all right, man. He goes, the rehab said it'll let you come back in 90 days. I said, yeah. He said, what are you going to do from this time till then? I said, well, the job that I'm working at knows I'm in recovery. It's a bunch of people in recovery. It's a little get well job. And, they said I could have a job there until I go back. And, I got the sober living, and I'm going to all these meetings, and I have all these set plans, and I have people holding me accountable. And judge is, all right, man, well, I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself. So I'm impressed that you came back and held yourself accountable. Right. So let's see where it goes from there. So I do those next 90 days. I get the paper to go back into the rehab, right? I get the acceptance letter to go back. I show up to court in that 90 days, and I give it to the judge, and the judge looks at me and says, oh, man, you're still sober, right? And this time I brought my sponsor with me. I'm like, yeah, I got my sponsor with me. And by this time I had finished my steps, and I really want to start sponsoring guys, right? Because that's where, for me, that's where, the magic is, right? Is helping another alcoholic, right? Helping somebody along their journey. And something I was really, really stoked about doing, but I was nervous, right? I was scared to do it, right? I didn't want to fuck it up. And, I had somebody tell me, they're like, look, Corey, you keep this mentality when you're sponsoring guys, and you can never go wrong. He's all, there's nothing you could do right if they're not ready, and there's nothing you could do wrong if they are ready. He's all, your job is just to walk them through the steps, man, to hold them accountable and place their hand in God's hand. That's your job, right? Your job isn't to keep these guys sober, right? It's your job to place their hand in God's hand. I said, man, that sounds like a pretty tough job to do, right? He's all, trust me, bro, just keep that mentality, right? I'm like, all right. And so I show up to court, and I tell this judge what's going on, and he tells me, he's all, so you're going to go back to this program? I said, yeah. Yeah, there's the acceptance letter, but I have something I want to ask the court, but I don't want you to, because like I told you guys, manipulation is like a huge character defect of mine, right? And so I really had to check my motives when I was talking to the judge. And I tell him, I said, look, man, I would really like an opportunity to sponsor guys in Alcoholics Anonymous, but I can't do that if have to go back to rehab, right? They don't allow you to sponsor guys when you're in the treatment center. And he goes, okay, so what are you asking me? I'm like, well, I'm asking you, sir, if I can just continue doing what I've been doing, right? Not saying going back to rehab is a step in the wrong direction. It just puts a pause on my life in the direction I'm trying to go. I know I signed a deal that I was supposed to complete this program. I'm doing really well. And, I have all these commitments, and I'm doing these things. And I tell the judge, I'm like, I really just want to start helping people, right? I really want to start sponsoring guys. That's like my purpose, right? That's my goal. And he looks at me and goes, you know what, Corey? He goes, I'm looking at you, and in just the last, a little over 100 days, right? I've been sober a little over 100 days at this time. And he tells me, he goes, there's something about you that's different. After all the times I've sent you to prison, all the times I've sent you on violations, there's something different about you. And he goes, I smell a success story on the horizon with you. I'm going to give you a shot. I'm going to go ahead and suspend this sentence, and you come back in 90 days and let me know how things are going. If you fuck up, though, you better be back here in my courtroom ASAP. I said, got you. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, man, dude, I had to really check my motives. And I'm like, dude, did I just work the judge? Did I just I have to ask myself that, right? And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, man, dude, okay, well, I really put my foot in my mouth on this one. I better start fucking helping people. That's what I said I was going to do, right? And so I wasn't even out of the courtroom yet. And this is, they talk about in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, right, there that you have a spiritual experience, right? And they talk about it a few different ways, right? They have a spiritual experience of the educational variety, where you didn't have this aha God moment where you're you just felt the overwhelming presence of God. That's not what I had, right? I had the educational variety where you look back on all your past experiences, right? And you all of a sudden you start seeing God written all over your story. And so I was not even walking out of the courtroom yet, right? And my phone rings. And it was this kid I had met at Woodglen, and he asked me, he's all, hey, Corey, do you think you could sponsor me, right? And I'm not even out of the courtroom yet, right? And I remember thinking to myself, and it gets me emotional when I think about it now. I remember just looking all right, I get it, right? I had asked for this, right? And not only did you answer my prayer, you answered it like that. You answered it immediately, right? And I would love nothing more, And so, at this time in my journey, I wasn't, like I said, I had maybe a little under 4 months, and I wasn't sold on permanent sobriety, right? I liked where my life was going, don't get me wrong. And I liked the benefits of staying sober, and like things started getting kind of cool. I was still taking the bus, and, you know, I didn't like have any like material shit, but I started feeling better about myself. And that's really the gift, right? It's like feeling better about yourself internally. But like still, I wasn't really sold on like permanent sobriety. It's like a daunting like thought, right? Like forever, like really, like I could never get high ever again. Like, what after I get some stuff? Like, and I, you know, get my life back together. Maybe I could just have like a couple drinks or something, right? Like that's what I like, but like forever. And so, you know, at this time, and so this is where it takes like a completely different turn, right? So, you know, a couple of months down the road, when I come back and the judge ends up signing off my my court case, right, and I'm free from that case, they drop all the charges, sign off on the program, right? I'm done with that case. I'm still on parole, and you know, I get this guy, right? I get this kid asking me to sponsor him, and he's in a world of shit, right? He's got a joint suspension just like I had, right? He's got this, you're looking at a long prison term, and he's in the same rehab I was in, right? And I get plugged in with this kid, and I start sponsoring this guy. And, you know, he asked me, so, hey, man, I got court coming up. Do you think you could write a letter to the judge for me? I'm like, yeah, not a problem. I'm like, what's the judge's name, right? And
Your guy.
he goes, it's Michael Murray. I'm like, wait, it's who? He goes, it's Michael Murray. I'm like, but gray-haired C-55 in Maine jail, in Orange County, Maine, right? He's in Central. And he goes, that's the one. I'm like, dude, that's my judge. Like, yes, I'll not only write a letter, I'll go to court for you. Let me go to court for you, right? So I show up to court for this kid one day, and his lawyer comes walking up, and I look, and I'm like, Mr. Sheeks, right? I know his lawyer. His lawyer had defended me years ago on a pretty serious case I had, and he's all, what are you doing here? You're not on my docket. I'm like, no, I'm not here for you, man. I'm actually sponsoring. I'm sponsoring your client right here. And he goes, you're sponsoring this idiot? I'm like, I am. He goes, man. He goes, how much time you got? And at this time, you know, I had maybe like 9 months, maybe I didn't even have a year yet. And he's all, the lawyer looks at me and goes, man, I took 10 years yesterday. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, fucking God is crazy, right? So I get this opportunity to go into the courtroom, and I walk in, the judge, when he calls up, right, he's like calling these people, and he looks over, he's all like, looks at me. And so after he calls the next guy, he's all, hey, South Shunkoff, what are you doing here? He's all, did you fuck up? He doesn't say it like that, right? But he's all like, something happened. I'm like, nah, I'm actually here for Mr. So-and-so right here, right? And he goes, why are you here for him? I'm like, man, remember what I told you? I want to sponsor guys. I'm sponsoring this kid right here. And he looks, he's all starts shaking his head. He starts laughing. He's all, man, how things worked out, right? And so I got an opportunity to speak to this judge on this kid's behalf. And, you know, he tells me at the end, he goes, look, Corey, you know, I was resigned to send this kid back to prison today, right? And he goes, you showing up for this kid? And he's all, I'm going to let him go back to this program. And I remember thinking to myself, man, how the tables have turned, right? You know, somebody that was like begging, right, to get deals, right, and begging not to have to go back to prison for this long time. I'm able to go and advocate for somebody that was in the same position as me, right? You know, and it was that moment right there that I finally found a purpose in life, right? And I had finally found the reason why I'm here. And that's not saying like I'm here to like be like advocate for people, and I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about, right? I have a purpose, right? My purpose is to be of maximum service to people that are struggling, that have lived the same lifestyle that I have, and for me to be able to show them that it's possible to recover, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, it's not about all the material stuff, right? It's not about the car and the apartment or the house or whatever. It's really about finding a purpose in life, right? And for me, through Alcoholics Anonymous and through God, I've found that not only is my past my greatest asset, right, but it's just something that I will never, ever turn my back on, right? I embrace it today. I don't run from it. I'm not scared of it. I'm not regretful of it. You know, it's everything that I've gone through, each trial and tribulation that I've gone through has forged me into the man that I am today. And I will say, you know, in the short amount of time that I've been sober, you know, my life has done a complete 180 from somebody that couldn't stay out of jail for, you know, more than I think the longest I stayed out. I had one time where I stayed out maybe like 13 months, but like over that 21 years, it was like on average, I was back in within 50 days, right? Constantly in and out, in and out, in and out. You know, and I've been able to, you know, get close to 2 years right now. God willing, I'll get many more. But I don't look at the time like the years, right? Like the quality of my days that I live today is really what's important. like living in the present. And, you know, I have to say, if, you know, before I had built the reliance upon God, which I found through working the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and being of service, you know, I relied on the fellowship and sobriety and what you guys do here. You know, the genuine love and kindness and the willingness to help another person is what kept me around in the very beginning. If it wasn't for that, I would have been gone. You know, when I got kicked out of rehab, if my sponsor didn't pick me up and Danny didn't pay for my sober living, like, I would have been on the streets. I would have been loaded. You know, it's those genuine that genuine love and those acts of kindness is what helped really propel me on this road that I've been on. And, you know, so I'll end with this. You know, I am truly, truly grateful for the life that sobriety has given me. You know, I've been able to build a career. That telemarketing job has turned into a career, right? Where I'm, you know, I just recently got promoted to a management position. You know, I've been able to get my own apartment. I'm getting married to like the most beautiful woman in the world. That's like way out of my league. I mean, like truly, like you see me, I'm just like, dude, like what is she doing with this guy, right? Like, I mean, just like, it's just amazing, right? And she's sober and she loves me for who I am. Doesn't, you know, nothing about my past. You know, it doesn't. I've been able to do all these truly amazing things, dude. And the most important thing out of all of it is I've learned to love myself and be confident with the man I am today. That doesn't mean that I have like this pride and arrogance, right? This ego attached to it, but I'm just okay with who I am today. And I don't need everybody else. I don't need to people please. I don't need everybody to love me. I'm just comfortable in my own skin with the man I am today. And that's just something I never thought I would ever find, you know? So it's just, you know, once again, I just really appreciate you guys for having me here tonight.
Thank
It's been
you.
a great experience.
Beautiful. Where's the popcorn, bro? I was edging my seat the whole time. That was great, Corey. Great job. And I'll tell you something. There's a man out there for every other man, and there's a woman out there for every other woman. And you're smart. You latched onto a guy, and that was a big part of your story. That's huge, man. Good for you, bro.
Yeah, I really enjoyed a lot of it, and I had a full circle moment too with with my judge. We had him on the podcast.
No.
He retired from Judge Anderson.
I love Judge Anderson.
Yeah, he was my drug court judge.
I love
Spent many of days in his courtroom, and to be honest with you, if I want to talk about any guests that I've had besides Natalie, because she became actually a host of the Hopeaholics podcast, that is my favorite podcast, because for me it was a full circle moment of a guy who gave a guy a shot, because I wasn't supposed to be in that courtroom. I wasn't supposed to be in drug court. I had something violent on my record, and the district attorney did not want me in the courtroom, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to give this guy a shot."
I love that. That's the type of guy he is, though. Mr. Anderson's
Yeah.
glad. I have a lot of experience with him. He's great.
Amazing dude.
I just spent some time with him and Yvette. I went and spoke at that monastery on Saturday. This last Saturday.
Oh, nice. You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went up there with Danny.
Yeah.
To that meeting. Natalie and I went up to the monastery. I need to go back up there because, man, they had the best honey in the ever at that little shop right there.
Well, I didn't get no honey.
Yeah, they have a little shop at the monastery.
Oh, I need to check that out next time.
Anyways, should we unmute Natalie for a second, see if she's got a few words of wisdom, or where did she go? She left? Oh, okay. She's there, but she might not be there.
I turned off my thing because it was so distracting and embarrassing.
What?
So I turned off my video. My parents are they do the most. So that's where I get it from. I wanted amazing congratulations to everything that has kind of came full circle for you in your life, but it's just another testament of how powerful and how much when you really commit and start doing the work, shit just falls into place.
Simple,
and
just
it's
like that.
hard to put your hand on like exactly how that happens. It just does, because you are doing the actionable steps required for that to happen. So it's really beautiful to see. And all of us in this meeting, we all shouldn't not be here. We really shouldn't, all of us. But before I mute myself, because the rest of my family just got here and they're summoning me downstairs, but I met a gentleman today at my dad's oncology appointment, and his name is Miguel. I don't know if he is in this meeting, but if he is, welcome and come. We have this every single Tuesday. And that's what's so cool about what we are doing, you guys, because people need to know that hope is alive and treatment is available as well, and they are not alone. We're all in this together, and hearing stories like yourselves tonight, or like yours tonight, is just another testament of how powerful this is once we actually, hit our knees and say, okay, I'm done, help.
It's that
And then
complete surrender.
you link on to another person that has gone through the same exact thing, and then you feel like, damn, okay, I can do this. And then you're being of service. So thank you so much for your lead. And Miguel, I hope that he is in this meeting tonight, because you're very much welcomed. And that's all I got. I love you guys.
Thanks. Love you too. Check it out. The second people with their hand raised, they're incarcerated right now. So we got a group.
I wanted to ask that right now. I was like, are these guys in custody right now?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there's no way. I was like, I'm not gonna ask that because there's no way they're in custody right now. Really?
Yeah. Like, how cool is it? I mean, this guy, William, they do some amazing stuff, man. Matt, you're number one on the list today, my friend.
How you doing, family?
Matt, I'm sorry.
Grateful.
Before you start, tell us how difficult is it how difficult is it to drag yourself away from that doll to get to a meeting?
Oh, it's hard. It's real hard.
Sorry.
It's actually
Sorry.
It's actually sitting in a drawer with my other recovery mementos.
Nice.
So.
All right. Sorry, buddy.
Part of
Sorry.
my little recovery memory box.
Nice.
No doubt. But guys, Matt, grateful, recovering addict, man. I can definitely relate to a lot of the story. Did 6 years incarcerated myself. Thankfully, that was the only time. But I came out and I stayed on my bullshit for years and years. But I didn't learn a damn thing except how to be a better criminal incarcerated.
That's it. That's all I picked up on.
But it's just true, man. Like, when you're ready to stop, man, when you're ready to finally stop and ready to just give up and start putting in the work, man, this recovery works. It works. Like, life today is so bananas amazing, like it's I don't even know how to put it into words. Like, looking back to almost 3 years ago, how bad things were and stuff I was doing to get high and the lies I was telling and having to remembering the lies I told like 2 weeks before that and using more lies to cover up those lies, man. It's like, life is beautiful today, man. Absolutely beautiful. I need everybody to know here. Just put in that work, man. Put in the work. Don't give up on yourself. Because if you don't give up and you just keep moving, I mean, even if you do relapse, man, the point is, just don't stop. Don't stop, man. Because this does work. And when you're ready to just finally just get over being in that rock bottom, man, it's a beautiful place and it gets better every day. And yeah, of course, we definitely have trials and tribulations, and it's not all sunshine and roses by any means. There's a lot of difficulties. But you just got to trust in your higher power, and you got to trust in the toolbox that you have, that you get from your road to recovery, and use all those tools and use your support group and just keep on pushing, man. And this meeting, I look forward to this every week, man. I love it here for sure. And you guys are definitely a godsend. And I appreciate everybody here, man. Love you guys. Peace.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Matt. I look forward to this meeting too every week, man. I love this meeting. All right, we got the CSC program in the house. Who's up first?
Yes, how you doing? Corey, I want to tell you I appreciate your story. No, Corey was the guy's name?
Yeah.
They-
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely can relate because I'm here being incarcerated right now. This is the first time I've been incarcerated, but imagine my surprise when I got here. It's like a university here. So I really like being in jail. We have a lot of good, we have Hopeaholics, and we have programs here and Bible studies. And we have a saint here named Kim Sawyer that puts them together, along with Superintendent Cole. And they give us the tools to, when we get out, to be a good member of society. So I just want to give a shout out to them and tell you I love the podcast, and I'll just keep coming back and watching it. And tomorrow.
How you doing, guys?
buddy.
I've been watching the podcast since I got here, which is in August. Love the stories. Chad, the Lambo, you work for the FBI. Shane, when your brother tell you what to do when you're embarrassed, that's hilarious. But anyways, man, I'm glad y'all bring the awareness to fentanyl, because the fentanyl crisis is really getting big, especially in Middle Tennessee. Chad, I feel your story, because a lot of guys that I know, at least about 6 or 7 people died from the pressed pills, the Percocet 30s or whatever, and they pressed for fentanyl. So I'm glad y'all bringing the awareness. It'll be nice if you guys come here one time and talk to us, because there's a lot of guys in the pod that's actually, in recovery from fentanyl. Like I said, the epidemic is big here, and it'll be nice for you guys to come talk to us and share the light and share your stories.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, we will someday, and I don't know when. Definitely be after the holidays, but we need to take a trip out there.
I'm in.
Yeah, I just gotta set it up with William, Mr. Cope.
Yeah, I'm Kevin. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic addict, and man, this place we're at right now. You said something about rock bottom. This is like our forced rock bottom, and there's a lot of hope found in that that bottom that we can't get away from. There's a lot of revelation and stuff that happens in here. Sometimes people get in trouble and they think they're gonna get out and go right back to the same stuff, man. And it's places like this right here that they let them know that they don't have to do that. There's other options. And coming to see you guys every week and watching your podcasts and stuff really shines a bright shining light, man, that anybody can recover, man, if they just put their mind to it. It's a daily reprieve, but you guys give us hope, man. That's what it's all about. Appreciate it.
Nice. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Damn, this is a shit.
I just want to, I detoxed at 550 North Flower Street. You know where that is?
All too well.
Huh?
All too well.
It's one of the best detox centers around, dude.
Detox
Yep.
way to go.
You can't ACA. You can't leave.
Nothing.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not bad.
It's not like you're planning on eating anything for a couple weeks anyway.
Nah. Oh man. Is that Joe, where's Joe Pip? Oh, there he is. Well, on our screen, Joe, there's a guy right next to you. His name's Jesse.
Oh yeah.
Jesse's chest is looking pretty fucking
Pretty swole.
pretty
Jesse
swole
looks-
right
Jesse
there.
looks chiseled,
I'm
man.
thinking Jesse might actually be a stripper. Are you a
No,
stripper?
I'm thinking soft
Huh?
porn. I'm thinking soft porn.
Soft porn?
Soft porn.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with the words? Come on, man. We're
See,
like,
Canadian.
It's Canadian. There we
Yeah.
go.
Jesse,
Good looking
we
guy.
got-
Hey, I'm happily married, Jesse. Sorry, buddy. Happily married. If you're trying to catch me, you got the wrong guy, man. I am happily married. Just move along.
Jesse, keep doing whatever you're doing, bro. You look fucking swole. Julian.
I know. I'm gonna go hit chest weight twice this week.
Yeah.
Right? No doubt. Damn.
Julian,
All
what
right.
do you got to say now?
Julian. Hey,
what do
buddy.
you got to say now?
Hey man, y'all some freaks over there. Man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, hey, y'all are terrible over there, man. My name's Julian. I'm, recovering heroin addict.
Hey, Julian.
Oh, there you go.
Man, y'all are something else. I just want to thank the speaker for, sharing the story. I can relate so much with him from, getting that first bag of heroin and, just it was sad to say it was like the best feeling in the world, and you just felt like you can talk to anybody. Anything you said was funny, and you just thought you was the bomb.com, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Down to, going to jail as a juvenile and, coming home and going back around the same environment and just in and out of jail. I ain't do 42. I ain't get arrested 42 times, but, I did a couple of bids. I did, 4 months and then 3 years and then 8.5 years, But that all came from, not having a purpose, not hanging around the same old people. They say birds of a feather flock together, you hang with 8 losers, you be the 9th loser, So it's like
it's true.
Facts.
It's true.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You hang with 8 winners, you'll be the 9th winner. Like just like how y'all put yourself together at the podcast, y'all got around a couple of winners, man, and y'all created a good thing right here. Like this podcast is so dope. So, but another thing, man, is like, so I've been clean for 18 years, right?
Ooh, come on.
But I've been clean from drugs, like heroin, all the hard drugs. But this past November 16th, been 2 years, I ain't touched no liquor. I wasn't a heavy drinker, right? But I just completely stopped drinking, like I was playing with it, I would go out to events or whatever, have a drink here and there, but I wasn't really big on it. But the 16th of November made 2 years. I ain't touched no liquor, man.
Congratulations.
And,
Nice.
and it's a blessing, man, to be in recovery. It's a blessing to, to be able to share with one another, to lift one another up. It's like we can't do it by ourselves. I can't do it by myself. Like, it's crazy. I was just telling my girl, right? It's been over a year I've been on this program. Like I've been tuning in with you guys, man, and it's been a blessing 1 year, And I just thank y'all, man, and whoever's whoever's struggling, whatever, man. I'm just telling you, man, that when it's time for you to change, you will change, man. And don't give up, man. Don't give up. And I'm gonna leave with that.
Thanks, Julian, brother. We love you, buddy.
Thanks, Julian. Julian's been coming to our meeting for a long time, man.
We're wearing the
And
same fucking shirt each time, too. The same exact
we
fucking shirt.
appreciate it. Usually he's all sexy. He's all
every
sexy
time
in
he's
his
gonna wear a
bed.
probably the same one, too.
Huh?
Probably the same one.
Nah.
Who knows? We don't know how this guy lives.
I do.
We got no
He's
fucking clue.
He's the number
He's
one.
in the room on his bed every fucking time. We don't know this guy from a hole in the ground. Let's go.
All right. Next
I
up, we
love
got
you, buddy. We love you,
We got the duo coming up. We got Jesse.
Oh, yeah.
He does
Two strippers.
He does soft porn, and then
Yeah.
after that we got Joe Pip.
who's
Joe's not working tonight.
No, he's might be working the couch. We don't know.
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
has a client outside. He's got to hurry up.
If you guys don't know Joe, he's a dancer. He likes to call himself a dancer. He doesn't like it when we say stripper.
Yeah.
He's a dancer.
Yeah.
He plays the construction guy from the YMCA.
Yeah.
Okay, enough. I'm sorry. I just can't stop it now.
Neither can I.
Natalie,
I know,
It started. You can't stop, huh?
Natalie's not here to fucking put us
reel us in.
check.
I got no place to be either. I'm in no rush to go home. Let's just keep this meeting going. Yeah.
All right, Jesse.
All right, Jesse.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
Yeah,
buddy.
Jesse, grateful recovering addict. Man, I love the share. Yeah, it hit deep. Me personally, I've been lucky enough to never be incarcerated, but I just want to come on and thank you guys for this awesome podcast and this meeting, because it's been a minute since I've been to a meeting. My second born, my second kid was just born. I have a little girl and she's week old, so
Nice.
I've been at home a
Congratulations.
lot and it's been driving me nuts. So this meeting here is amazing, man, to be able to just and come into my room and hide out for a little bit and experience a meeting like this and like be connected to so many other alcoholics, man. This thing is fucking amazing. And yeah, I did hit chest today.
Fucking show off.
Dude,
Seriously, bro. Come
listening
on,
to the
man. What
podcast,
the hell's
I
your
know you're
problem,
always
bro?
like,
You don't get to show up like this ever again. We're not gonna Emily, if he shows up like this, do not let him in.
I see you looking, Shane.
Fucking guy. You're damn right. So I'm looking with envy, bro. I'm jealous. I'm not gonna anyone tells you they're not, they're liars, okay? You look great.
Oh man, thanks. But yeah, it's
Don't come around my block.
Will you shut up? Will you shut up? Let him share.
Yeah, for me personally, man, my journey has been fucking a roller coaster, you know. A lot of ups and downs. But that's life, right? That's life. And by the grace of God, I've been able to experience a lot of the downs sober and like make it through it. Me personally, I lost my brother to fentanyl last year while I was sober, and it fucking hit hard, man. It hit hard. That's why I relate to the podcast and I relate to you, Chad. Like, it sucks, man. It's fucking hard. And that's why I love what you guys are doing, spreading awareness for the fentanyl epidemic, man, because it's insane. If I were using today like I was when I was, you know, like 10 years ago, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
I'd be dead, dude. I was 100% like all I was doing was Percocet. That's it. And if I did that today, I'd be fucking dead. So I really love what you guys are doing, man. Big thank you. And with that, see you guys next week.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right. See you next week, Jesse.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's flexing his guns too.
He's
Calm
showing off.
down.
Here's
Calm
the
down.
thing, though. He brings you back to reality with the loss of his brother. And
Yeah.
that's really the truth. And you know what I mean? I joke around a lot about all this bullshit, but the truth is this. This thing is killing people, and we got to be vigilant, and we got to fight for our life and for the right to live every fucking day. You know what I mean? And this guy just brings it back to brings me down to earth. You know?
Yeah,
It's
I
not.
agree.
It's not fun and games out there.
No.
You know, we got to help each other. So anyone out there that needs me or needs anyone, just drop a line, and we're here for you guys.
Joe.
Joe, you motherfucker. Sorry, couldn't resist.
I'm just scared to talk, man. You guys are unleashed today.
Yeah.
You know? It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, well, you know, it's what happens when Natalie's not here.
Yeah.
She's just, and then she,
Natalie's
and
not here.
not only that, she like boned out from the meeting, so
Yeah,
it's like
she's
a
completely gone.
free for all.
Dead.
And and Emily's over here cracking up. I wish you guys
know.
could see. You don't know Emily, Joe.
Normally she's not like this.
She
normally
thinks that
wavy.
we're hilarious right now.
Yeah.
She's over there cracking up. Usually she's giving us the stink eye
She's
because.
feeding the fire.
Yep. Anyways, Joe,
Welcome.
you're up.
Yeah.
We'll shut up for
Yeah, go ahead.
3 minutes.
Nah, it's all good. I get it. I'm entertained by this. Corey, right?
Yes,
Is
sir.
his name?
Yeah.
Corey. Nice to meet you, Corey.
Likewise,
Joe, I'm
Joe.
an alcoholic. That was a great story. I identified with a lot of that, bro. Almost all of it. You know, me too. I didn't like alcohol early on. It's the first thing I ever tried, but alcohol got me into so much trouble so quickly. You know, I loved drugs because I was able to DL my drugs. I loved ecstasy, coke, all that shit. Like, I loved it. Alcohol I did when I was around other people, but, you know, all that other shit got me out of my head, you know, and I was able to be comfortable with myself to where I actually contemplated if I could live the rest of my life high. It's the only way I could function in society, right? I couldn't function as a sober man.
Exactly right.
But I had to learn. It started with the alcohol. I barely have a desire or a craving for anything now. I'm really lucky for that and grateful for that. But I'm not, you know, a grateful alcoholic. People say that all the time. I'm a grateful alcoholic. I fucking hate being an alcoholic. I think it sucks that we're forced to live this way, you know? It's really difficult. But I'm grateful that I have a program to follow to where I never have to live that emotional pain again. You know, I mean, I had 25 years of emotional pain, crying behind the wheel. Just can't believe I'm doing this again and again and again and again and again. And then I want to get help, but I don't even know where to look. Try to do it on my own. Never works. you know? So I'm grateful for the fact that I found a way to live like this. It is what it is. I'm never going to change who I am in here, right? Like I could change my thinking and my behavior, but I'll always be an alcoholic. I'll always be an addict. And it is what it is. But I'm just happy I'm able to live with peace, you know, and I'm able to understand my disease, as are you. And, you know, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. As opposed to all the work I put in just to hide my addiction, live with my addiction, all the fallout of my shit. Listen, I got I got a DWI and I wasn't even driving. All right.
No.
That was me. I swear to God, I'll tell you that story when there's more time. I got arrested in the Trump Casino in Atlantic City on Halloween, and I was dressed up as a prisoner. They sent me into jail already dressed up as a prisoner. Hysterical. All because of alcohol. All because I didn't need to do it. It's just like you said, the manipulation, the ego, all the character defects just run rampant when I'm drinking. So alcohol is more dangerous than anything for me. And, you know, I never do any of this behavior when I'm so. I'm actually a good person when I'm sober. It's scary. People aren't even sure that I'm the right. I'm the same person that they know. And so I love being this way now. I love the life I live. I'm really grateful for it. I don't ever want to go back. Ever, ever, ever. I don't even have a desire. Not a what's the word? There's no triggers. I don't look for it no more. I know how to heal, right? I know how to get over all my shit. This is how I get over all my shit. You know, I have everything I need to be happy every single day. I haven't had a bad day since March 13th, actually, very similar to your sober day, 2023. So it's a beautiful thing. This life is beautiful. The guys in the program, give it a shot when you get home. I swear to God, it's better than anything you've ever experienced in your life. Just give it a shot. It's not easy, but it's not as hard as you might think. I'm sorry I went over my time, and thank you guys for letting me
Thanks,
share.
Joe. Appreciate it, brother.
Zamzo. Take us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Take us home.
Take us home, buddy.
Take us on home, man.
Take us home.
That was solid, Corey. That was a solid share, man. You know, there's a thing called yets, and I haven't been to jail yet, but I can understand a lot of the things that were discussed tonight, and something I wrote down was grateful for the man that took the time out for me and being able to help me along is something I heard there. The gentleman took his time out to help you, to show the way to a better life, better happiness. And I liked how I was listening to. I was on a walk and I was listening to the obsession leave, that mind, body, and spirit. The psyche change happened, and not worry. And I like how you said, Am I working this judge over? Am I working this other person over, thinking I was doing wrong, but maybe I was doing right? And it was the exact opposite of what's been, you know, for me, exact opposite of what I want to do. And man, it reminded me of my buddy Bob that I talked to a lot, because he goes to the jails in this area and talks with the inmates all the time. And I've been thinking about getting involved in that when I get some free time, so I can, you know, dig in a little bit more for service work. You know, I've been around for a few 24 hours, but I still learn something every day. Keep that open mind, keep everything going. The other thing I was going to shout on tonight was, you know, I've been coming around this meeting for a while too with Julian.
Yeah.
And I look forward to this shit every week, man. This is the cherry on top that's been discussed. This is the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes, the whole 9 yards. You know, trust God, clean house, help others.
That's it.
And being able to show people that this is the better way of life. This is the way that's going to happen. This is the fruits of the labor that's being put in. Helping another person that's sick, you know, get rid of the problem, show them the solution. Live in the solution, not in the problem. And this is the life. We got holidays coming up. We got Thanksgiving up coming a couple days. I hope people got phone numbers. I hope people got places to go if they don't have family and immediate family around them. I hope a lot of things are in play. It talks about that in the big book, being able to go to places that we can be comfortable at, but go with somebody, 2, 3, 4 people, have them phone numbers, have the way out if not comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, don't go. Don't do those things. And just stay at home, chill out, maybe do a Zoom meeting, maybe do something else. It's the habits that have to change. People, places, and things. And that's what it is, man. Grateful to be here. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck. We got one more. We got a hand raised.
Yeah, we do. Kylie.
Kylie.
Hello.
Hey, Kylie.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can they hear me?
Because my headphones don't work with the mic. So
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Give her the thumbs up.
okay, perfect. Hi. My name is Kylie. I'm 25. I live in Seattle, Washington. I am here because I was sober for probably the longest time in my life. Earlier this year, I was sober for 5.5 months. Since I could make the choice to be sober, I guess, because I started using substances when I was 9 or 10. And I just wanted to say that I'm grateful for you guys and what you guys do for people. And I reached out to your Instagram page a while ago because you guys had made a post, if you're struggling, if you need help, reach out and, we'll do our best to help you. And Shane reached back out to me immediately, and that meant a lot to me. And it actually surprised me. And so I just want to say, it's because you guys are taking this seriously and because you guys are doing this that I want to be sober right now.
Come on.
And so thank you for that.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that.
Whoa.
I love that.
That's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to
Was
say.
that
was
that
more
it,
than enough.
Kylie?
She dropped the mic.
it.
She dropped the mic.
Yeah, she's like,
Dropped the
boom.
mic. Kylie, thanks.
Kylie.
Man. Wow. Thank
we
you.
thank you for that. We really do make it a point to answer every single one of our DMs that comes through.
What a daunting task.
Shane sits there because we're here to help, man.
That's rad.
Besides however we can help. Personally, I don't want another family to have to go through the tragedy that my family's gone through. I don't. And Shane's got a heart of gold.
Gold.
And I mean, sometimes I wake up, I get up early in the morning, and lately Shane's been answering all the DMs before I'm even out of bed. I'm like, dude, you're on
Being selfish with them.
sick one. Because besides this, we've all I've ever done in my life is work in treatment since I got sober. We have treatment centers here, and if we can get people into ours, great. If we can't, we try to help people find a treatment center that's the right fit for them.
Yeah.
And, we'll do whatever we can.
Yeah.
Because, damn, this life that I've been afforded, the one thing that I am the most grateful for every single day is that I didn't get what I deserve.
If we got what we deserve, to be dead or in a box for the rest of our life.
Yep.
That's what I deserve.
Yeah.
100%.
And I try to stay in gratitude. Recovery is not always easy, but it's always way better than what I used to have.
I heard this great thing when I first got sober. This guy tells me, he goes, look, Corey, if I've been doing this for some time now. I think he had about 16 years at the time. He said, oh, look, I've never seen a grateful alcoholic relapse. He said, remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, man, dude, I don't know if I could live in gratitude my entire life. That's a pretty daunting task. But I've been able to find something to be grateful for every day that I wake up. Every day, I've been able to find something.
Good for you.
Some days more than others.
Just literally grateful that I didn't have to stick a needle in my arm today. Because I used to not have a choice.
No.
I had to, just to get out of bed. All right, everybody, it's that time. We are the only Zoom meeting. Does anybody else go to any other Zoom meetings
And dance.
and do what we're about to do? Turn your cameras on, because we are the dancing fools. We dance out. That's what we do here at the Hopeaholics Recover Out Loud meeting.
Yeah.
Every
we
night.
dance out.
Oh yeah, we dance out.
Put
So
our
everybody,
hands
see, look
up.
at everybody's putting their cameras
Pray
on.
to God.
We got everybody
Dance.
hands up in the air, hands up in the air. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
God, I'm feeling it tonight, man. Holy smoke.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Hey guys,
Amen.
tell a friend about the meeting
Yeah,
next week.
baby,
Let's see if
next
we can
week.
get it up to 80 again.
See you later.
Let's go. Bye-bye.
Bye.